Hi, this is going to be a video about my pre-K's week. He didn't really do anything last week or yesterday. He hasn't been feeling good, so I've gotten everything together today and I'm starting him off tomorrow. So this is what we're going to be doing starting tomorrow. The first thing he does when we come in, he takes his attendance on here. So this is for his attendance, and he just does stickers. So that's what he does. And then he goes to his daily binder. So for his daily binder, I use Confessions of a Homeschooler. So he does this, and he also does her number pages with the stickers. And that's all he does for that. Then for after that, he will be doing his name practice, printing it out. So, and he's still having me trace it. He's still having problems with his letters, so we're still doing that. And then he will be using his beads to put his name together in order. So he'll be just putting his letters on there. And after he's done with his name, then we go on to his tracing pages. So he'll just trace all his numbers. And in the back, we just count. I haven't had him write numbers yet. He can do like number 1 and number 2, and there's a few numbers that he can do, but I'm not having him do the writing yet. So he's just pretty much counting all the way to 30. And the same with the letters. I am practicing. The only ones that I practice on here are the ones that are in his name right now. So those are the ones he will be printing out on the sheet. And he has them in capital, and he also has them in lowercase. So he does that. He traces the shapes on this side, and then on this side we just review all of the shapes that we have on here. And these worksheets I just printed out from online. So that's what he does in the morning, and then after he's done with his like morning work, because that's what I call this, keeps him busy while I'm working with his brother, then he goes on for his fun part, and he thinks this is fun. So this is his life skills. He will be dusting the living room, and what he does is he grabs one card a day and he does whatever the card says. So when he dusts the living room, he just runs around real fast, and he tries to do it in whatever time I put for him. So he'll be doing dusting the living room. He will be, the next day he'll be doing dusting bookshelves. The other day he does pick up his bedroom. The next day he helps prepare snack. And the 5th day he will be picking up living room. As you can see, living room is in there a lot because, well, they like to take their toys out and make a mess. So I put those in there. But I change these weekly. And when he's done usually his stuff, he will get like a candy. So he likes, probably that's why he likes that game. Okay, so I'll go on to our next one. Next one he's going to be doing is reading the book that him and his brother do. His brother's a little bit ahead because he has done school, but he hasn't. So we'll be reading Harry the Dog. And then he's going to be doing his notebooking pages for Harry the Dog. So he has this one where he's just going to draw him clean here and draw him dirty over here, which is just coloring it in. This is just a tab that tells me the book that he read, just so I can have it for, my memory. Another page he's going to be doing, we're going to be talking about domestic animals and wild animals, and he's just going to glue a picture of a domestic animal and one of a wild animal. And then we're going to be talking about feelings. So he's going to be coloring the faces depending on what the feeling is. And then he'll be doing his face of whatever he's feeling that day. And then for math, we are going to be rolling a dice. He's going to count the dots on the dice, and then he's going to color wherever that number's at until he finishes his train. So he'll be doing that. And then for the last day, he's going to be talking about stranger safety. So I will read this to him while he stamps the word talk on the lines. So that's pretty much what he's doing. And then I'll read this one, pretty much just talking to him about, you know, talking to strangers or being grabbed, or if a stranger's nice, how they try to lure you, things like that. So that's what I'm going to be doing for him for his reading part of notebooking for his book of the week. For his next activity, this idea came from my little Smarty Pants, and I really liked it, so I'm going to be doing what she's doing. Since he's doing the letter T this week, and his sight word is A, I figured I'd just start with at. So we're just going to go over the words every day until he gets them, and I'm going to do just like she does, and I'll just give him a sticker every time he gets it right. So we'll be doing that activity every day. And then I also printed out sight words, like pre-primer sight words, so he'll be doing a few of those, and we'll do that every day just to get him used to them. And what he will be putting into the score box is just one of his letter tiles. So these were printed out. It is awesome just to print your own letter tiles. And I stuck that red mark at the bottom just so he knows which way they go, and he doesn't put them upside down. So I printed a few sheets. I put cereal box on the back to make them hard, and those are his letter tiles. So he uses those, and he has his own, just like his brother. So that's what we will be doing for the next activity. I'll be back. His next subject is math. So for math, he has 5 worksheets to do. So he'll be doing the color brown, the color black. He's going to be doing a shape maze. I always make him do front and back, so he's going to do the rectangle tracing. He's going to color the butterflies that have 0 spots. And just doing the number 1 on the next side. Over here, he's going to be cutting these out and pasting them where they belong. And for the back, it had circles and squares, which he had already done. So, and then this one, he will be just following the maze from 1 through 30, which is the numbers that I want him to know. And this is on dry, I had used dry erase for this so I can reuse it over and over. So those are the worksheets. And he also gets a fun activity to do when he does math. So for math, he's going to be doing, our shape of the week is triangle. So I have 3 popsicle sticks in here that say 3 sides and triangle, and then he has extra popsicle sticks, so he has to build me different triangles with that. So he'll be doing that. He's also going to be putting in the missing number, and these are just from 1 through 10, so I printed these from online. And he's going to use his little ninjas because he loves his little ninjas. And by the way, these are at the quarter machine, so I collect a lot of those things. He will be doing missing number file folder, and this was just worksheets that I took from a workbook and put them on a file folder. And he will be using these to put the numbers where they go, you know. So that's what he's doing with that. And then he has the turkey. So this is turkey math. So this is Mr. Turkey. And then he uses these to count with, which are little things of corn. And then the feathers, which I have put problems in on them. And these are dry erase, so I can just erase them and reuse them. So basically he just solves his problem, like 1 plus 3. He'll use his corns to put them on there, and when he gets the number, the equation to it, then he gets to keep the feather and put it on Mr. Turkey. Let's see if I can get him in there. And he'll just put it on Mr. Turkey. Oops, erase it. I'll have to erase it again, but as you can see, they erase. So you pretty much just put the feathers around Mr. Turkey and until he's completely done. And he plays this with his brother. His brother has feathers too, and they're a little bit harder in math. And we just race to see who can win. So that's one of the games he'll be doing. And if you want to know where I got these worksheets, I made up the game, but the worksheets I got from online, so just let me know. And the last one activity for his math is going to be opposites. He's still having trouble with that, so I did the same thing. I cut things off from a workbook. I pasted them on here. I took their answers and actually pasted them on different cards with construction paper, and all he's doing is pretty much matching his opposites. And until he knows his opposites, that's what's going to stay for the week. The other ones change unless he wants to keep one. So that's what I have for his math for the week. Okay, so from there we move on to our ABC order. This is different every week, so I keep this activity for the whole week. So pretty much on this one, he's using his stones that I had made for his brother when his brother was in pre-K. And they're just little foam stickers that I glued onto the glass stones at Dollar Tree. So he has the whole alphabet on here, and the point of him doing is actually figuring out which letters go in front, which right now he can actually look up here and use them. So we do that. And he's going to be doing that all week. And I'll change these daily, you know. I just gave an example of how the game is pretty much done. So that's what I do for the week for that. So what we do after our ABC order, now it's the letter of the week. So the letter of the week is letter T. And the letter is picked by the reading part that I do, which I'll show later. So our letter of the week is letter T. So he has worksheets to do for letter T. So he'll do this worksheet. He's going to use a magazine to put stuff in the back of the square. He will be tracing letter T on this paper. And I think, yeah, this is the one that has a different letter in the back. So he'll just do the front of this one, which is just tracing here and then writing in here. He gets a lot of practice in this, which is really helpful for him to write. Then I also have the highlighted letters, so he's doing letter T. So I just looked up the letter T page, and he'll be doing this, and then he'll be doing this, the ABC order. And he just gets one of those. And then these are his dry erase. I love these things. I got them when my son, my oldest, was 4 years old, so I've had these for a while. So here he does his letter T, where he's tracing in, and he's going to do this every day. He'll trace them, and he'll write them. So he'll do that. And then this one, he writes the letter T by himself in a whole line. If he wants to do more lines, I let him, but I only want one line. So that's what he does for the letter T. After he's done with his worksheets and he's done with his tracing, then he has his rice. So he has to play with his rice. And he loves this rice. I have a whole tub of them, of rice colored, but I only give him a little bit at a time. And he has this to play with whatever he wants to do here. And he'll just trace the letter T short and the letter T long. Things like that, just to show me that he knows how it goes. So he does that. And that's all we will do for the letter T. So after he does his letter of the week, then we work on phonics. So we use the leapfrog. Sometimes I use Alfie, sometimes I use the leapfrog. This week we're using leapfrog, and I will change this depending on the letter of the week as well. So he does this last. He loves to play with this, so this is the last thing we do when we do phonics. So the first thing he does is he goes through his letter cards, and he just tells me sounds. He's not allowed to tell me the letter. He has to do just the sounds. So he will do those cards, and then we go to our phonics ladder. So we just go through the letter of the week, phonics ladder. He does that, and then he gets to do this. So that's what we do for phonics for the week. Next, we take care of reading the alphabet. So our reading the alphabet comes from this readingmama.com, I think. Yes, .com. So he did start, and he did the first day, and then he got sick and stuff like that, so we haven't continued it. So what I'm going to do is review his first day, and then we're going to start on day 2. So we're going to read his letter T book, and he loves this book. He's been reading it still. So he'll be doing his letter T book, and then for day 2, these are syllable cards. So he has to count the syllables on each word, and it's got the turtle, and a top, tutu, toothbrush, telephone, and a tent. So he'll be doing the syllables for that and counting them. And the way to count the syllables that we do is we will put our hand under our chin, and he just says the word, and however many times you open your mouth, that's how many syllables the word is. Just in case anybody didn't know how to do it, that's what we do. The next thing he's going to be doing is coloring his turtle. So he'll be doing a coloring page. He'll be doing a tracing as well, except he goes from large all the way to tiny. So he'll be doing this work page. And then this is a grid. So what we're going to be doing for this is rolling a dice. So he'll roll his dice, and however many the dice says, he'll just grab these and he'll cover however many he wants. He can cover the turtle, or he can cover the T until he covers all of them. And I'm going to play against him so that we'll see who's the winner. And the winner, I have candy, so I'll just give him a candy for the winner if he wins. So we'll do that. And that's all he has for the reading that we do for the letter of the week. Sorry, that was what we had for day 2 as far as the reading went. Then day 3, he has a pocket chart book that he's going to be doing, which is right in here. We'll be searching the words for letter T, so he'll just color those turtles, and then he'll have to put his sentences, which is the same sentences in the book. He'll just put them in his pocket chart that's on the wall. And then he'll be doing a search and find for the sight word of the week, which is A. And that would be day 3. Day 4, we will go over again the pocket chart, except this one I think has the pictures. And then he's going to be turtle numbers. So he'll be practicing numbers 1 through 10 and 10 through 20. They're actual turtles. So whenever he gets a turtle, he will have to put that many counters on there. And then he's also doing a maze with letter A. And let me see if I can get it. He's going to be tracing the turtle into the pond. And I got that worksheet from, I think, Confessions of a Homeschooler. So that one, I add worksheets to these just if I can't, you know, print something out or I don't have it, I'll add to it. So he's got a few of those to do, trying to get to the other one. And then he has this page where he's gluing the pictures that were actually in his book that started with the letter T. So that's like cutting practice for him, as well as pasting practice, and those are the pictures. So he has that. And then lastly, he will do the dot turtle. So, and we'll do that with dice as well. And then he'll just color in whichever number he gets. And then for day 5, we're going to read our book. And our book, we're going to read it every day, even though this says just today, but we'll read it every day. And then he has practice with his letter all by itself, and I took that out of a workbook. And then that card that says A will go on his wall of words if he can read it, which he knows it by now. And then this page is cutting practice. So he'll be cutting those out and using them for a pattern. We'll just start playing like a pattern game, and he can make patterns and I'll do it, and I'll make patterns and he'll do it. And then for this one, there's a sentence. And he will read the sentence, and then he will glue the sentence onto the paper in order that the sentence will go. So that's what will be for day 5. And that is it. That's complete week's worth of this Reading Mama's letter T. So his day finishes with activities. So he has, for this week, here's a card. He will be doing a train. He will be doing lacing of a turtle. He will also be doing, have a bunch of these cards of different eggs on how to put them together. So he'll be putting his eggs together. He will be doing his teddy bear. as a wild animal. So he'll just put whatever pattern card goes, whatever teddy bear. And he's also going to be building his Lego cards depending on the color that he chooses. Sorry, my dogs were coming in from outside. And he also has worksheets to do. So he does like one of those activities as well as a worksheet. So with this worksheet, he's tracing his lines. He will be cutting the lines and then he will put them together. And more tracing. A maze. And here he's just figuring out everything that goes for winter. So that's what he'll be doing as worksheets go. And then when he's done all his motor activities and just his pretty much logic, he does computer work. So he has a choice. He's got reading bear, he has ABC mouse, teaching monster to read, and reading eggs. So he'll be doing that for reading practice. And then we have art. So he does art for Kids Hub, a sticker book that he has, Muffalo Potato, thank you, Miss. This one I found thanks to watching My Little Smarty Pants, so thank you very much for that one. They love it. And then he also has a coloring page that he can do, or a craft activity if we have a craft activity during the week. There's a couple more popsicle sticks that I have of art and I cannot find them. But one of them is for soft pastels and things like that, and there's like a free website thing that I use for that. So anyways, that's what his week is for the week. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.